happy story has a happy ending. Josh Alcorn was born November 15th, 1997 in Kingsmill, Ohio to very conservative Christian parents. When he was 4 years old, he knew something about himself just wasn't right. He didn't feel comfortable in his own skin. After 10 very long and confusing years, Josh learned what transgender was, and he cried. He cried because he was so happy, because he finally figured out who he was. He was actually a she. So Josh started going by the name of Leela to his friends, and finally he tried to come out to his parents as transgender. Her parents told her that she was just going through a phase. They got really angry and they wouldn't allow her to be who she was. They sent her to conversion therapy, which is basically just Christian doctors telling trans and gay kids that what they're doing is not right and it's immoral, and basically just trying to scare them into not being who they are. And so after years of mental abuse, like being taken out of school, had all kind of technology taken away from her, all kinds of like social media, any kind of connection with the outside world, Leah decided that she couldn't handle it anymore. And on December 28, 2014, she walked into oncoming traffic and was hit by a semi. Even in death, her parents referred to Leela as Josh. On a post on Facebook, her parents wrote, "My sweet 16-year-old son, Joshua Ryan Alcorn, went home to heaven this morning when he was out for an early walk and was hit by a truck." They couldn't even acknowledge the fact that he was a girl, and they really couldn't acknowledge the fact that he had committed suicide. It wasn't some freak accident. And even the school said that the prayers are with Josh's family, not Leela's. So by not calling Leela her name, we are tarnishing everything that she stood for. In the suicide note that she left on social media, she wrote, "The only way I will rest in peace is if one day trans people are not treated the way I was, but instead treated like humans." Whereas different religions say it is immoral to try to change gender, transgender people should have the same rights as anybody else, given that trans people are just people all the same. 1 in 4 trans people experience violence every day. 1 in 10 trans women are murdered every year. 41% of trans people attempt suicide. These are some of the scariest facts in the world, because these are just regular people trying to live their lives. Everyday errands, things like going to the store, just walking down the street, they're terrifying for these people because they never know who's gonna say something to them. And going to the bathroom can be super confusing because a guy that's really a girl, they don't know which bathroom to use, they don't know what's socially acceptable. Healthcare is something else. Obama tried to pass some laws, but few are put into effect. And it's really expensive for these people to try to get gender reassignment surgery. For a male to be female, it costs about $140,000, and female to male is about $124,000. And to try to get a job is just like one disappointment after another. Iona Turner wrote in an article, "My contention is that discrimination against a trans employee due to his or her trans status constitutes a valid sex discrimination claim under Price-Waterhouse gender stereotyping theory. This is true whether the individual is viewed as a man who is insufficiently masculine, or a woman who is insufficiently feminine, or someone who falls in between these seemingly binary categories." Obama was quoted saying, "That's why we defend free speech and condemn the persecution of women or religious minorities or people who are lesbian, gay, bi, or transgender. We do these things not only because they're right, but because they make us safer." When we give others the equal chance, they grow. Trans people need equality to simply be accepted into society, to be accepted by friends, family, and just random people on the street. Society will never change unless we raise awareness about the dangers of how transgender people are in danger. We cannot let Leela's death be for nothing. If we change how people look at transgender people, we will give her the happy ending that she deserves.
Obama tried to pass laws. Do you know what they were for?
One of the laws was actually named Leila's Law, and it was for trying to end conversion therapy. So basically, I can't remember if it's actually illegal now, but they're trying to make conversion therapy totally illegal. So that's just an example.
So, do her parents think it was an accident, or just don't accept that she committed suicide?
They just won't accept it because they don't want to be held responsible, because Leila left a suicide note, and in the note she blamed her parents for everything, so they don't want to be held accountable for her death.
How would they fix the problems like the bathrooms or the jobs?
Well, some things that they can do, as like, it kind of sucks, but they have been making bathrooms specifically for transgender people, and that's kind of taking away the equality from it, but it's a step in the right direction. And some bathrooms even say, like, this, it doesn't say like men's and women's, it say this bathroom is for anybody who identifies as a woman. This bathroom is for people who identify as man.
Did Leila end up changing her name like through the legal system, or did she just?
She was only 16 when she died, so legally she couldn't change her name. So she was just having people call her Leila. She identified as Leila.
What is the ultimate end goal for, say, transgendered people?
The ultimate goal is to just have them, like, everybody is human, everybody is equal. They shouldn't have, you know, lesser rights, like not being able to get jobs because they're different. They just should have the same basic human rights that we all in this room have.